Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a great morning. Oh, finally, push. As you can see, I'm up. I'm positive one trade on the bottom account because that is my leader account, and I just honestly forgot to change, or I didn't forget to change anything. I forgot to turn the trade copier on because I'm using the new trade copier. Works flawlessly so far, and to be honest with you, I definitely feel like the executions are better. I don't know, it just seemed, and part of it could just be that the market is not very volatile today, so that could be it. I don't know. But everything is pretty smooth so far, so we like that. But I just forgot to turn it on. I went through it's a pretty extensive manual on all the settings, so I went through all of that and made sure all of that was good. So the first trade I took, it was only that, and then I won another trade after that with the followers on, and then I lost the very last trade, which here you can see I was stopped out with an outside bar, and then we pushed right on down. Oh, the burn. So yeah. I did have one more trade. I know I missed. I was kind of in the process of trying to process it in my head and look at my cheat sheet and stuff, and I literally missed it by like a second. It actually came back to the entry, and I was like, let me make sure. And as soon as I was about to put the order in, it went to my break even level and went straight to the take profit. So we are missing some extra profit out of there, but that's okay. I was kind of a little discombobulated this morning. I went to bed pretty early, but I was just waking up in the middle of the night a lot, so yeah, I didn't get the best of sleep. So yeah, I got on the charts a little bit late, but it looks like I didn't really miss any trades. I won't really know until I go back and write my trades down for the day, and when I go through the charts from 8:30, I'll know for sure. But as a quick glance, I don't think I missed any trades because I was late to the charts. I only missed the one because I was just a little discombobulated. Good morning, Rio. Yes, the code is still valid. So it ends at market close today. However, oh, you know what? You're right. Today is the 22nd, so it ain't valid. I went to sleep so early, I didn't even see did they announce any new sale? It doesn't look like they did. So, you're right. It's not. Let me see. It's probably back to 71% off. Well, maybe it's the 22nd. Oh, I think that's supposed to be a 7. Yes, it's still valid. Maybe I just typed in the wrong thing. I don't know. Let me go look. Because that font is really weird. I want to make sure that is a 21. If it is, I'll just change it to 27. Thank you for letting me know, because I don't pay attention to that stuff most of the time. Let's see. Is that a 7? Oh no, that's actually a 7. And the 1 and the 7 look exactly the same. What the hell? No ignorance on your part. No, I just wanted to make sure I typed it in right. Like, legit, the 1 and the 7 look just alike. Did we get a pullback yet? No. Look, I'm gonna screenshot what the 1 looks like, it looks exactly like the 7. I think I need a new font. Look at this. That almost looks exactly like the 7 down here. And that's the 1. So we'll be choosing a new font. Thank you, Applejacks. Because what the heck? All right, let's see. I tried to pick a little fun font, but no. Your 1s and 7s look exactly the same. But yeah, I'll change it. If the music is too loud, let me know, because I turned it up like 5 decibels, I think it is. So if it's too loud, let me know and I will turn it back down. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. And just so you know, my code will always give you whatever the best discount is. So even if it did, like, even if it was the 21st, right? And you still put the code in, it's still going to give you whatever the best discount is at the time. Just so you know. And I thank you for using my code. Let's see. It really sucks that this week was so slow. I really thought that Thursday and Friday was going to yield us a little bit more since FOMC was Wednesday afternoon, but I think, let me see, I feel like I took like 5 trades yesterday. And when I went back, that was probably about 10, because there were some where, let me see, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there were 10, but it looks like I really only missed, well, I missed 2. However, one of them was like a no trade. It wouldn't have triggered. So, and I took 8. However, oh, that's what it was. So 2 of the trades actually are now invalid that I took yesterday. And then one of them that I lost, I now realize actually 2 of them need to break even. So like, for instance, when I'm in these divergence trades, so like here, you know, the zigzag is buyer pressure when I'm getting into the sell. And so, so far, I have noticed that with all the changes that I've made to my strategy, when the zigzag changes in the middle of the trade, I don't need to break even. However, there's 2 instances where I need to. So if the divergence for the sell, if there's seller pressure and I'm getting in, which does not happen often, there has to be a double top or double bottom, and the zigzag changes to buyer pressure while I'm in the sell, I do need to break even. That's one instance. The other instance is if it is buyer pressure and I'm getting in for a sell, if this zigzag that's attaching on the way down turns red to indicate seller pressure, I need to get out. At least for now, that's what I think. Because one of the divergence trades that I took yesterday, right before stream, that was the last trade that I lost before stream, the zigzag changed and I lost it, right? So when I went back into the backtest data, all the times where the zigzag changed, that I could see from what's on the screen, of course, it can change in the middle of the trade, and by the time it finishes the swing, it could be back to the right color. So like, it could change to, it could change red here, but by the time it closes, you know, on the actual reversal bar, it can change green. So anytime that happens where it changes in the middle, I cannot see that while I'm back testing, right? But I can see all the times where, hey, it stayed red the whole time. All of those times in the back test data, the trades broke even. So I don't know if it's kind of fluky. I might just have to go through like my actual, like this screen that I use to trade, because I do, like to put text on the screen if the zigzag changes, or like, hey, it's not attached until bar 4. I do make those notes on my charts that I look at. So I might just have to scroll back a little bit, but most of the time I do write it in my trade journal though. And thus far since last Monday, all of the other trades where the zigzag did not change, I was fine. So that was a thing. And then also I noticed even this morning this happened as well, although it wasn't a valid trade. But like, let's say that I'm in, let's say that I get into a sell right here, right? And as I'm getting into the sell, one of the rotation levels that look like this, the dashed rotation levels. So let's say I'm getting into a sell right here, and as I'm getting into the sell, a rotation level pops up right here on my way down. I have to break even right there. That caused one of the losses one of the trades that I lost right before I got on stream yesterday. That happened. And I don't know if you guys remember last week, but I was saying, like, I think it was last week, like, ooh, I've noticed that whenever the first time the price hits a rotation level, if it's brand new, a lot of times it does react off of it. So it makes sense why, when I was in that trade yesterday for the sale, the rotation level popped up in the middle of the trade. It literally touched it, wicked off of it, and went the other direction, and I lost the trade. So that's why I was saying, like, this week I made some pretty major changes last week, and then after Tuesday's session I wouldn't even say major, it's just like, oh, you didn't pay attention to this variable, like, make this a thing. From here on out, I really honestly feel like between Tuesday and then last Wednesday, I feel like I'm kind of at the end of having to make like big adjustments. It's just small stuff like that, like, yo, on this trade, zigzag changes, you have to break even. On this trade, if a rotation level pops up, you have to break even. That was really the cause of my losses yesterday. But yeah, so I'm hoping going into next week that next week is the week, okay? Because I literally made, between last week and this week, I've made less changes to my strategy than previous. So that's why I think that the 16 tick chart is like the most stable for what I'm trying to do. And who knows, like, after I solidify the rules, I'll probably be able to change my Renko settings if I wanted to. Like, if I wanted to go back to a 20 tick chart, I can almost guarantee you that whatever rules I'm putting together right now for the 16 tick chart is probably going to translate well onto another chart as well. Well, as much as you've talked about journaling, you made me step your game up. Okay, you should. I'm telling you, it works. Used to do it and got lazy, but I was super detailed, and yes, I'm telling you, like, you can just learn so much. And then when you start color coding things, so I'm gonna tell you, like, write down the basic things about that particular trade in black. And then, so what I do is, like, I'll write down the setup, the time, if it was a buy or sell, what the volume looked like, since I am trading a volume-based strategy. I'll write all of that in black. And then if there's a double top or double bottom start, middle, or end, I'll also write that in black. Right after that, I use a green pen, and I'll write down any variable that has to do with the actual entry bar. Like, all right, I'll put like B VWAP if the VWAP went through the body of the entry candle, or W VWAP if the VWAP went through the wick of the entry candle, those kind of things, right? So anything that touches my entry bar, I write it in green. Anything that touches the previous swing, so this is, for me, I look at this like A, B, and then C is what I don't do A, B, C, D, I just do A, B, C. So A, B, C. So anything that affects the B swing bar, I'll write in red, right? So, and I write P in front of it because, I don't know, like the previous bar, blah blah blah. So I put like PWVWAP for the previous bar, meaning the B swing bar, the previous bar the wick went through, or the VWAP went through the wick of that candle. So I write it in red because most of the time, what's affecting my trade is not what's going on with the entry candle. It's typically what happened with the previous bar. So when I'm going through, and because I started color coding last week, it's helped me to find certain variables faster. So like if I want to know, like, of course at this point I've realized I just don't like taking any trades where the previous bar, the swing B bar touched the VWAP in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's fine. But if I notice a certain thing, like, yo, I feel like that trade, even though I lost it, it's like it was too quick of a reaction. I didn't get really any bars in my direction. Then I probably know that it had to do with how whatever the previous bar looked like. So when you guys see me go into my journal, right, and I'm like flipping back through pages, I am typically looking for. Hold on. I don't think that that's going to react fast enough. It's not. I'm typically looking at the red. I'm looking down the right side of the page because that's the last part of the lines. And I'm looking through because I'm looking at all the red text or fonts because I'm trying to look for that variable, because it's usually that variable that affects my trade the most. But you could just learn so much. And I honestly feel like that's one of the only reasons why, I mean, as much as I feel like it's taken me so long. What has it been? I can say 6 months, but not really, because if I started using volume, let's see, I remember it was the weekend, like Christmas was that first week. It's been 3 months. 3 months is not really a long time in hindsight. It feels like forever, but that's not really a long time to develop something from scratch and almost be at the point where you've like mastered that. So yeah, I just feel like you can really cut a lot of time out of things if you're journaling. And most people don't. Most people don't. I am super detailed, but I do that on the front end. Like, even though it can be annoying sometimes that like, yo, I'm done trading, but you know, I still got to do all of this. Like, sometimes it takes me about an hour and a half, depending on how many trades I have. Like, if I only took 10 trades, if there was only 10 valid trades for that particular session, of course it's gonna only take me maybe like 30-45 minutes to journal everything. Because I think when you're done with your session, not only should you write down the trades that you did take, but I think you should start from whatever your session start time is and literally go through meticulously and make sure you didn't miss any trades. And if you did miss any trades, just put why. So like if I sit out of any trades because I've questioned anything, or if I missed the trade, I will literally put exactly why. So if it was because a certain variable of the trade confused me, I will, I told you, like, I write certain things in different colors. So I will put a box around it so that I know when I'm going back, because I'm not going to remember why a week ago, Tuesday, I didn't take this particular trade. So I'll just put a box around it so I can go back and say, oh, this was the exact reason why I sat out of this. Or if I went to the bathroom, or like, I just write that kind of stuff down because it's important for me to know. I'm just super anal about everything. But I promise you guys are going to see, like, why. I promise. Because this week wasn't, like, the worst. Besides Tuesday just being super trash like last Wednesday was, every other day I literally just basically lost the equivalent of, like, one and a half trades, I guess you could say, you know? So it wasn't, like, that bad. Yeah, it just wasn't that bad. So hopefully we get some better price action next week so I can really put things to the test. I feel like it kind of sucks that this week wasn't the best of the best movement because I really couldn't put everything to the test. However, I can say that the win-loss ratio was about the same. Like there was a little bit more losses this week with less volatility and stuff, but it still had a pretty good win-loss ratio after I take everything into consideration of, you know, all the adjustments that I've made this week. But I definitely cannot wait for volatility to return. Yeah. Because this is whack. And then I do know that I am going to back test mainly like regular trades at my major level, like what's happening right now. That's a pullback to the major level. The major level is at like 39.50. So I do want to look into that. I already have been looking at like divergence and regular pullbacks that happen like midway between my minor and major levels, which I did try to trade that way a while ago, but I just could not find the consistency. Now I have. I can only take the very first one that happens. So like this, this trade set up perfectly. The only reason I didn't take it is because I don't get a lot of these trades, so I just didn't feel comfortable taking it yet. But yeah, you guys can see how like this rotation level popped up in the middle of the trade. I would have to break even when price hits that, but it came one tick from where it would have broken even. It would have never hit the break even level. I would have just went straight to take profit there. But yeah, like little small things like that. I just want to make sure that I have enough setups that even when the market is volatile or not so volatile, I have enough setups to make sense. I just am not that person that can sit on my hands literally all day. I can't do it. I can't. I just can't. And I'm honest about it. I am honest about it. 283, 292. This was a valid setup, but it was literally no point in taking it because you could see the red line right there. That's where price changed to a downtrend. We failed, created some structure, pulled back to the major level, and came back down. So I always break even at that red line since I'm in a buy and it's resistance. So the entry would have literally been right there, so that was pointless. I mean, I wouldn't have lost the trade, but it was just gonna be pointless. And then sitting behind this support level right here, this is like the second support level. The prior low is there, and I'm actually going to let's do this because sometimes when price is hiding or the level is hiding behind the support or resistance level, I just forget that it's there. So I'm just gonna make a green dashed line to remind myself, and then I'll just lock it so I can't move it. And my screen is froze right now. I can't see anything. All right, there we go. And that'll just remind me, like, don't take any sales there. Oh no, my chart is still frozen. Guys, what the? Oh, okay, there we go. I will say so far, I really do like this. I like the fact that the trade copier and the in my accounts dashboard is like all in one. And I actually, did I remove? I did. So I'll show you guys like now I have like the basic version of it up right now because I don't switch from micros to mini and, you know, I don't fade. You have the ability to like fade, set up micro, mini, set up like how many times you want. So like if the number 17, I want double the contracts of the follow leader account, I could do that. But basically, whatever account you put as the leader, it'll automatically put it on top and it'll make it red, and then you just click to make all the other ones gray, and then you turn it on, and that's that. Super simple. Super simple. And yeah, I really like it so far. I do. Hi, Mr. Biofix. How are you? Yes, this is the Renko charts that I was telling you about. I'm currently waiting for a setup. It's a pretty slow day, so I'm used to more like 20 trades in a session, maybe 15 minimum, but this week has just not been a lot. So all right, we have the push off of the VWAP there. How are you this morning? All right, actually, crap. I wonder how I'm gonna be able to get that back. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that, because with me having the chart trader and everything in the same, it gets rid of my toolbar. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to him about that, because I need my toolbar back. Because I wanted to draw the zone. Maybe I could just do it this way, which will kind of suck, but what ifs. See, it goes from here to there. All right. I just want to keep that zone in mind. That's the zone that changed it to a downtrend. You can see we tried to break it here, but then we're pushing right back into it. Now to change it back to an uptrend, yeah, this is gonna suck. To change it back to an uptrend, I need it to break here. Well, I guess it's mainly just gonna suck because I want you guys to be able to see stuff, but no. I'm not using this screen to trade off of. I'm using my other monitor, and the toolbar's not there. Because the indicator that I use to enter trades for me at the close of a bar, he did some kind of update a couple of days ago, and yeah, it basically, I didn't mean to say that. That was dumb. So yeah, this is like the little indicator that I use to enter my trades, right? Well, I think because of the new update, it makes the toolbar go away at the top. So like this is what my screen looks like at the top. The recording here, that's because I have my trade journal attached to this chart, because it takes screenshots of my charts on entry and exit and sends it to the online trade journal or whatever. But yeah, so the toolbar is gone from my screen, and I'm not all the way sure why. all the way sure. Because I even tried to remove the, like I have 3 tabs open. I have the tab that I use to, the chart I use to trade. I have a second tab that just shows the accounts dashboard, which also is what holds the trade copier now since I upgraded. And then there's a third tab that just has the daily chart. But I tried to move the trade copier / accounts dashboard to a different window, and then I reloaded the Ninja script on my chart that I trade on to see if the toolbar would come back, but it looks like it even removes the toolbar because I use the chart trader, which is not really what I want. Just twist it. Yeah, twist the ribbed part where you twist it on, just twist it. See if that works. But yeah, hopefully I can figure out how to do that. I do use like a what are these things? I use the NinjaTrader drawing tool tile, but I don't have the thing where I could draw these zones, so I'll probably just have to add it there, and it won't really matter because it's really the only time I go in there and use it anyway. But yeah, you're just 3 days and you have 113 affiliate. Jeez Louise. Congratulations. It's your first time doing affiliate. I mean, honestly, their affiliate program is pretty good, and really the product speaks for itself, you know what I mean? So you don't really have to do a lot of selling, which is good. Like, look, either you want these accounts or you don't. It's that simple. But congratulations. Yeah, so Rinkos can be confusing for some people, but once you like learn them, they would be less confusing because it's literally just price action. So price is here right now. The lowest that it got is whatever price that says was it 18,519. But you can see like higher high, higher low, lower high. It's with Rinkos, there is no question as far as like, is this a higher low or not? Sometimes when you're on different bar types, you can have 10 people looking at the same charts, and some people are going to say, yeah, I consider that a higher low, and other people are going to be like, no, I don't consider that anything. So it just kind of really depends. I would have taken this sell right here if the freaking prior low wasn't right there. But because it was there, I did not want to take that. But yeah. Didn't get what I was looking for there. And it's so crazy because prior to last week, I would always I had all these different like parameters for me to manually break even, one of which is like, oh, if a zigzag doesn't attach to the first bar, or if the zigzag changes, or just all these different parameters. And essentially I did that because I was finding out that a lot of times if the zigzag changes, or if it does not attach right away, that would cause me to lose, right? Well, now with the adjustments that I've been making, it's not, that wasn't really the problem. Like now, if I'm in a trade and I'm like, it goes with my rules and everything, if that zigzag changes to green and I'm in a sell, I don't even get out of the trade. If it doesn't attach to the 5th bar, I still don't get out of the trade, because for the most part, the indecision was happening because of the volume pattern that was happening, and those volume patterns I don't trade anymore. So let's see, it sucks. It would only be good if we also got paid for PA fees. That would be nice, but They do. I will say that they still do pretty good commissions. Maybe one day they'll do PA fees, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the that goes into setting up the data fee. I don't really know. I don't know. Break above 32, you can make a quick scalp to 37. Yeah, 32.75 is a major level for me. You just can't see it on the chart. I don't have all my indicators over there because some of them are pretty heavy on the system. So I just have like the main ones that need to be there, like the prior open high low close, the current open high low, the order flow VWAP, and then the support and resistance levels. And that's just so that if people are watching while they trade, you could just see, like, you know, not everybody has the order flow VWAP because not everybody has lifetime licenses with NinjaTrader. So I just have certain things up there, so if people are watching while they trade, you just know certain levels are there to watch out for. You found a hack. A hack to what? What are you hacking? I'm really just waiting for this to push down, create the next pullback, and see if I want to get into the next pullback. I know I can't get into the counter trend trade because this bar right here, the B bar, touched the VWAP. So any trade going back towards that, I'm not going to take. Alright, I'm going to try to get into a sell here as long as we don't pull back too far. As long as pretty much where my yellow line is doesn't go through the body of the entry candle. If it wicks off of it, fine. Trying to create a double top off the bottom of that zone. It's already 9:30. Jeez Louise. We did get a zigzag change, but I'm gonna stay in the trade. And we hit our target. Patience pays. And you can see we wicked off the bottom of the zone that changed it to a downtrend way back here. So maybe now that we have that rejection, we'll actually continue to trade below, but we'll see. We will see. For $14 at McDonald's, you can get 2 Big Macs. That's not good for you. I haven't had McDonald's in so long. Like once every about 2 years, I'll get a taste for a Big Mac and then I eat it and I'm like, this is disgusting. And then they don't see me for another couple years. Usually if I'm eating fast food and it's a burger, I usually go to Freddy's or Steak and Shake. That's really the only places that I eat burgers from. Of course, no buy because this bar touched the VWAP. We don't want to trade going back towards that. So let's see what we got next. So yeah, BioFX, I basically just trade different, like 3 different variations of pullbacks and then 2 variations of divergence. Some of the divergence is counter trend based on what my overall bias is, and then some of it looks like it's counter trend, but really it's just a larger pullback to continue in the direction of the overall trend. And right now, of course, I'm in a downtrend bias. So I've been in the downtrend bias since like 9:15. But even if I have a downtrend bias, I still take buys. But you could see like my major level was back here, like right there. And we've just created lower highs since we touched it. Let's see. 251. Is that what that is? Yeah. If we push down here, I'll get into a sell again. I think besides just adding those couple of other setups in, I think at this point I'm good. Hopefully I can have a prosperous week next week with all of the rules pretty much being solidified. I still can't believe it took me this long to get everything solidified, but you know, we're here. So every time a new bar paints in the uptrend direction, I have to kind of reset to make sure it's still the trade I want to take. Because I got to make sure the volume pattern stays the same. All right, so we just validated again. We got a zigzag change again, but I'll stay in the trade. See if that VWAP push was enough. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It might not be this time. Nope. Where did that random spike of volume come from? Hello? That was ugly. Or let's 528. That was super random. So I will say this is another thing that I am going to look into, which most of the time I don't think it matters, but with me changing some of my rules, I do want to look into this. So like the yellow dash line is where my minor level is, right? On this trade back here, the minor level was up here. It's dynamic, it moves, okay? So you can see the VWAP was below the level and it worked out. But on this particular trade, the minor level is here, it moved down, and the VWAP's above the level. I do, when I'm journaling, I do write that down. Like, you know, if a certain level was above my minor level or below, because part of me thinks it's important. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that ends up being a thing or not. Because like I said, my goal is not to necessarily mitigate every loss. That's literally impossible to do. But if there are certain things that legit just causes issues, then we'll pay attention to it. That trade made you seem stressed out. Give it till 11. How? I wasn't stressed at all. I just entered the trade. Trust me, you will notice I don't go on tilt. None of this stuff stresses me out at all. I'm still putting a strategy together. None of it would stress me out. Bankable profits. I am using Renko charts, Renko bars. These are from ninja.co. They're free. Just like any other bar type, you do have the ability to completely customize it, like so on a time-based chart, how you could say 1 second, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever. You could do the same thing with Renko charts. There's 2 settings that you use with Ninja Renkos. There's a brick size and a threshold size. My brick size is 16 ticks, so basically the colored part from open to close is 16 ticks. And then whenever a reversal bar happens, every bar in that direction of the new swing, 1 new tick in that direction paints a bar, basically. It's the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, trust me, bio, I'm not stressed at all. The only thing I think to myself while I'm in trades is, if a trade loses, is this something that can be mitigated in the future? Is this a consistent pattern that, shows that it loses, like that kind of thing? That's literally the only thing that I think about while I'm in trades. I don't care about losses and stuff, personally. But I'm pretty sure, see below, I'm almost certain that the biggest reason why that trade just was a little off is just because the VWAP was above my minor level versus below. Because basically what that tells me, and this is just my thought process, what this tells me is price attempted to break structure, right? Because it came back to the minor level and it wanted to break through it, but probably the only reason it didn't break through it is because the VWAP was above the level. Whereas again, back here, the VWAP was below the level, so it more so supports price going down. Whereas this one didn't really support price going down because we probably only reversed there because of VWAP. And you can see here that we failed to continue down. We created the higher low. We came back up to the VWAP again, created a higher low, and now we're pushing through the VWAP, right? So that to me signals that I probably need to make sure I stay out of trades if the VWAP is above when I'm going in for a sell, and if it's below if I'm going in for a buy. But I'll just look back through my backtest data. It's no big deal. I'll go back through it and look. Because even going through really quickly right now, I can see that all the trades, let me see, that's for a buy. It's greater than, so that one's a little bit different. And it could just be that, hey, it's just a trade that doesn't work out. And other times when this happens, it will work out. And that's probably what it's going to be. It's probably what it's going to be. All right, so we tried to break the zone again. Now this is still the same zone that changed it to a downtrend. The only reason I'm keeping it there is because it's looking like we're having trouble like legit continuing with the downtrend. So, because normally I would have removed it from my charts by now, but until that red line disappears, it's still a valid zone to pay attention to. Good morning, Truth Seeker. How are you? How are you this morning? You was thinking of streaming, but you need a mic. This mic, I used to stream my gaming. This is a toner mic. It wasn't expensive at all. You do not cry. You just don't go below $100. That's understandable. For me, I just want my losing days to be less than $250 per account because I feel like I can recover from that. Yeah, but aside from that, because I'm still putting things together, and even after, to be honest with you, I don't plan on ever stopping myself at any loss or any like profit. And the only reason why is because if you've done enough back testing to where you know what your edge is, right? If you know that your strategy is pretty decent, you know, in certain market conditions or whatever, or just anything, I don't personally believe that you should ever stop yourself from gaining more money. Now, of course, on the losing side, that's a total different thing. But what happens if you hit your daily loss of $100, but you have a good edge on your strategy? Maybe just the first part of the session sucked, and you could have made $500 that day instead. Or you could have went on tilt and continued to lose, or maybe the market just did not like your strategy that day and you could have continued to lose. I get that part. But that's one of the reasons why I don't stop myself, is because I don't want to stop myself and then the rest of the session was great. That's just me personally. And then also, again, because I'm still finalizing my strategy, I prefer to take every single trade because that's the only way for me to truly know what my edge is going to be. All right, I am going to attempt another sell right here because we're rotating off of this rotation level down. So most of the time when I'm getting into a trade like that, I don't even really care what the volume looks like, because the rotation over the rotation level, and rotation, I mean this bar touched it and this bar touched it, which if it pushes too far, it will not. But yeah, anytime it's a rotation level like that, I usually take the trade no matter what the volume looks like. Now, if we push too high and we don't close on it, then that's going to invalidate the trade. But yeah, NQ is going to move. What's 5 minutes on Rinkos? Ooh, that's a good question, Rio. I don't know, because I think it would honestly depend on the volatility for that day, right? I would think. Yeah, I would think. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's open up a 5 minute chart. So when you're in your trades, right? How long are you typically in your trades? That's the first question to ask. All right, this is a 5 minute chart. Let's see if we could push past this level here. We might not, we might, who knows. And yeah, bio, I could see the support there. I would probably go for a higher Rinko setting, probably. Are we gonna have enough volume to push through now? Yeah, I would probably go for a higher Rinko setting, like, I don't know, maybe like a 40 tick chart or something. Let's see. 20 times 4 is 80. Yeah, I would probably say a 40. And actually, you know what? actually shouldn't have taken that trade. So the only time that I can, like, I didn't think about what setup this was. The only time I can negate the volume because of the rotation level being here is if it doesn't pull all the way back to my level, which it did. It pulled back here. So as soon as it pulled back there, this part didn't even matter. And that's my fault. I looked at the wrong setup. But anyway. No, not you, Bio. Rio. So if it goes up 10 ticks, my stop loss goes to 6 ticks and trails every 5 ticks. It goes up 5 ticks. Oh yeah, did you figure out how to get the trail and stop to work in NinjaTrader? Yeah, I totally forgot with this particular setup that matters. Now, on my other, so because this started with a higher high, lower low, lower high, if this would have started with a lower high, then I can negate the volume requirements because of this. But because this is an alternate pullback, I can't negate it because it pulled back too far. So that's just on me. I should have looked down at my cheat sheet because my cheat sheet literally says that. But yeah, Rio, I would look, hold on, let me see. Did I keep it open? All right, let's see if, let's see what a 40, that seems like a lot though. Kinda. Maybe. Like on average, how many trades do you take in a session, Rio? This is what a 40 tick chart looks like. Like I said, I would keep a threshold of 1 because I think you can see the swings the best. That's what 40 looks like. Or if 40 is too high, 20 is what I used to use, but oh wait, I didn't even change that. I meant to change it. Duh. I would just always use some kind of multiple of 4. Yeah, I don't think 24. I also used to trade with a 24 tick chart as well. 882. This is kind of too much movement for a 5-minute chart to me. That's why I think 40. Now, that also means that from the highest point of a candle to the reversal is going to be 80 ticks. But I would think probably a 40 tick chart would be the most equivalent. Probably, I'm not sure. One of the other mods. Oh, so the little documentation I gave you ain't work? No. Yeah, once you get it to work, it's really nice. Okay, that was a little data lag. All right, so there's no zigzag attached right now. But I didn't get out. Sorry guys, you couldn't see the trade. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Okay. That was where's the level I'm looking for? Oh, it's right here. All right, so the third account listed for you guys, that's the one that I needed to fail today so I can get the reset whenever it is. When is it? The 20? It's on Monday. So it should blow probably. I mean, with the next trade, no matter, even if it wins, it should blow, because with the drawdown should make it blow. But I'm starting to think that I don't want to take trades at 10 o'clock, because this is usually, I'm starting to notice that trades that I take exactly at 10 o'clock, they don't work out. They don't work out at all. And it's probably because that's like it's just a specific time that could be important for other like contracts and stuff. Market is gonna go insane in a minute. So grab the right trend. Well, bio, that is very subjective. You grab the trend that works for whatever strategy you trade. And that is the beauty of trading. You can be long, somebody else can be short, and you both can be right. That is the beauty of trading. Rio depends. Less than 5. Yeah, so if you're in a trade for less than 5 minutes, I would probably look at that 40 tick chart. A 40 and 1. Yeah, I remember, matter of fact, I think it's 10 o'clock on Fridays, because I don't know if you guys remember, but I took a trade right at 10 o'clock on Friday, and I lost it a different way. It immediately went against me. But it's something about 10 o'clock on Fridays. Something about it. All right, so thinking about the trades so far today. Let's see, let's take this off. All right, so I won 3, lost 4. Not the last trade, but the trade before that. That one was invalid, so we don't worry about that. I'm missing a win in there, so there should be 4, 3, and then maybe getting rid of a 10 o'clock trade. So maybe like 4 and 2 is what I should be right now. There's just not a lot going on today at all. Now, I'm just waiting for this red level right here. I'm waiting for it to disappear, which it should if it can break through this zone a little bit. If it just pushes through a couple of bars, it should disappear, and then I can get rid of this. All right, it just disappeared now. Yeah, it's all about context. That's it. Especially when, you have a scalper versus an intraday swing trader. You could have 2 different scalpers that look at the market completely different, and they're looking at the same exact charts. Like I watched 2 people where one trades a 1-minute chart and one trades a 2-minute chart. Sometimes they're in the same trades, going in the same direction. Sometimes they're not. It's just all based on what you see. That's it. You trade 10 to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. I trade 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. However, I do prefer 8:30 to like 9:30. After 9:30, I really don't care anymore. I don't care to trade, but I typically will still pretty good trades still from 9:30 to 11, and that's why I stop at 11 o'clock. After 11, it's pointless. But the 10 to 11 session is, I typically can get like a higher win-loss ratio, I guess you could say, sometimes. But man, watching the paint dry is hard. You're always careful. You're welcome, Rio. You're always careful with candle open and the close of the hour. I'm off the charts by the close. I do watch some streamers just because sometimes when they're looking at the charts at the end of the session, I'm like, man, the charts move like that. But I'm off by then. Usually my computer is closed by like 12 12:30 at the latest. Like if it's a day where I had like 20 valid setups for that day, it's going to take me a little bit of time to meticulously go through that 2.5 hour session, because once I close my charts for the day, I don't want to reopen them. So I get all the little micro studying I need to do for that day out the way, and I can enjoy the rest of my day. Because I feel like if I could be done with everything trading related by like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I could do whatever the hell I want to do for the rest of the day. And you have time to do stuff. I just feel like if I stop at market close, well, my whole day is gone. And that's like having a job, and that wasn't my purpose of trading. I'm buying my time back, not giving my time back to the markets. So my goal is, if I can trade 12.5 hours a week and make all the money that I can make, that's great with me. That's equivalent to 1 nursing shift. So that works for me. No, I'm Central Standard Time. I am Central. Trying to see what this next trade is gonna do. I think I have 2. Oh, I don't know how that's gonna work. It's pretty close to the overnight low right there. Because that creates a zone, do we risk it? Why not? That's what testing is for. It came 1 tick from hitting the overnight low. That's what testing is for. If we push up in this candle, it looks like it's wanting to reject off of the VWAP and everything else that it's got going on right here. Every 30 minutes out goes adjust the books. Yeah. And I just, like I said, I just noticed at 10 o'clock on Fridays, it's just always this random, and it's only on Fridays really. There's just this random spike of volume out of nowhere, and then everything just returns to normal. There's so much volume in this one candle. There's 2,000 in this candle. And we've been in this candle for 3 minutes. My only concern with this trade is if we'll be able to push through the zone. Which we did. I just didn't get filled on the freaking entry. And I'm surprised I didn't, because 32.92. Oh, well, no, I'm not surprised. And I actually don't have my market analyzer up. That sucked. That was a great buy. I just didn't get filled. If I show you guys what the inside of the bar looks like. So when this bar closes, it puts my entry on the next candle. Well, it puts it one tick beyond the close of this bar, which basically is the close of the next candle. And you can see we came back and touched it in this candle, but the milliseconds, I think, is just what, I mean, I should have been filled because this is 0.92 milliseconds and this one is 0.09. So with my lag not being high, I should have gotten filled, but I wasn't, so whatevs. That's the risk that you run when your entries are precise. My only concern was, I know that the overnight high and low, right, it's a range, so I actually was concerned that the trade wouldn't be able to push through the overnight low level because it's pushing into a range, into a zone. But you guys can see it just literally blew right through it. Blew right on through it. What am I down? 200. All right. So my biggest, I wouldn't even say concern, but the only thing I really care about is that my 250Ks last through next week. That's the only thing I care about because they renew the following week. And then one of the 25Ks, it renews the week after that. So that one only has like 440 left in it. It might blow before then. Who knows? But it has lasted. So, and the fact that the account that I need to fail today lasted the entire 3 weeks that I traded, that's progress for me. When I'm not blowing an account in the first week or two, it's progress. That means my strategy is moving in the right direction because I used to blow them in the same week. I did, I ain't gonna lie. That's because you're developing something and you think that like, oh, you know, let's just start out here with very little rules. And as you're taking every single trade, you're like, okay, time to create some structure and to create some rules here. So I'm not taking this buy. This is a weak level right here that it's pulling back to, which the pullback level is here. It's a weak level and there's more volume so far in this swing than it is this swing. So I won't take a trade at a weak level like that. Because if it's weak, the volume of the swing needs to be less than the previous one. Hi, Trenches. Did you reach your destination? You just went short, silly me. 18,550. You might be okay. Again, we all see the market different. So if based on your structure and your strategy, a sell is right, should be okay. I mean, honestly, with this, I will tell you, based on what I typically see with the Rincos, when structure changes like this, so since it broke this zone, now my overall bias has changed from a downtrend back to an uptrend, right? But a lot of times it doesn't hold. Like it didn't hold back here. Where did it? Let's go to it. If I can find it. Like we didn't hold this first time, right? So we pushed up and we pushed up again, and it took us a while to actually create the downtrend, right? And then we started pushing up. So we could be rejecting and not actually changing to an uptrend, but we'll see. You're on your changeover, you'll be there at 1:30. Well, safe travels, and I hope you enjoy your trip. Enjoy every minute of it. Are you going to trade while you're there? Oh no, because you said that you wanted to get an iPad so you didn't have to take your laptop, right? Got a question. You took two shorts, one was 650 profit, the other was your stop loss at a profit of 300. Why would you get stopped out and went negative and now I'm down money when my stop loss was in profit? You're not using Trading. So It's telling you that you're okay. Were those the only two trades? So you're saying that with those two trades, it's telling you that you were negative, and you're on the right contract and everything. What platform are you using? Are you? Oh wait, you're using NinjaTrader because we were talking about your trailing stop. Mm. That's a good question because I mean you took sales here, so there should be no reason why you went negative. Tell me what your entries 12:30 my time. Oh, so you're going to be there shortly. What part of the Bahamas are you going to? Bio, tell me what your entries and exits were, the exact prices. Trenches, are you staying on an all-inclusive resort? What are your arrangements? The few times I've been to the Bahamas, I went on a cruise. So, and then was it yeah, it was a cruise. And this girl who was in a company that I was in, she's from the Bahamas. She actually won the lottery for citizenship here. But every time we would do cruises to the Bahamas, we would get to go to her parents' house and they would cook us this feast. And her parents actually live on, it's what they call Millionaire's Row, where all of the houses back up into the canal. And it's the same canal where they shot, ooh, what movie is that? It wasn't Jaws. Ooh, I forget the movie, but it's one of the movies with sharks in it. But that canal is where they shot that. And yeah, I haven't been to the Bahamas in years though now. It's probably been maybe like 7 years now. Nassau. Never been to the Bahamas. You trying to go to Costa Rica though? Does she need a new friend? I haven't talked to her in a while, actually. You are so funny. Her family is really sweet too. You got her with you. You'll trade 3 micros on Monday. I knew you was gonna take it. Talking about I need a tap. Well, you better take that laptop, okay? Especially if like, you just stick to trading a couple hours. You're not there, you're not trading a whole session and just completely negating the fact that you're supposed to be on vacation. That's honestly another reason why I've loved limiting my sessions for the 2.5 hours, because I feel like even if I'm on vacation for a week and I want to still trade, it's not, I still have my whole day ahead of me. It's not taken away from anything. Yeah, if they want to go out to breakfast or something, I'll miss that because I mean the reality is I don't eat breakfast anyway, so it don't matter for me. But yeah, I just want to still be able to enjoy my time, whatever I'm doing, but still be able to trade because baby, you got to get to the bag. But yeah, I went to the Bahamas a couple of times. I've been to Mexico a couple of times. I think those are really the only out of country places that I've been, because to be honest with you, I don't like long plane rides. I've been traveling for a very long time and I've gotten over the point of having anxiety. I think the only time I really have anxiety when I'm flying is if there's like a whole lot of turbulence, or like one time I remember I think I was going to Florida. Pretty sure I was going to Miami, which I hate, by the way. But anyway, there was such a bad storm that we had to circle around above the clouds for like an hour and some change. And then the pilot's like, well, we're going to have to try to descend through this because we're running out of fuel. Huh? I don't think you should have told me that. But yeah, that's like the only time. But like I have a bad back and I had knee surgery like almost 20 years ago. So that can be a thing too if I'm like having to sit for a long time and stuff. And I used to be that person where I hated layovers. But depending on how far I'm going, I need layovers. Like, I passed about 2 hours in a plane. I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to be able to get up and move because my back is locked up, my knee is locked up, and we all jacked up, okay? But with me living right in the middle of the country, anywhere I travel to in the United States at least, every flight is pretty much like an hour and a half, 2 hours for the most part, no matter how far on the coast I'm going. So that's helpful. And that's kind of one of the reasons why like it's so hard for me to think about moving anywhere else, because when I lived in California, oh my God, I just couldn't stand it. Like, if I want to go from this coast all the way over there, how long is that flight? No, take me back to the middle of the country, honey, because I don't have time for that at all. I'm too tall for this shit. I gotta get rich for first class. Drenches, how tall are you? I feel you, because I'm tall too. In certain spaces, it just don't work. That's why certain airlines, I won't fly. I can't do it. I remember one time I was in me and one of my girlfriends was going somewhere. I'm pretty sure we went to Florida for like 48 hours to go to SeaWorld because she wanted to go to SeaWorld. She's so childish. But anyway, so we ended up on this plane that was so small. There was only one seat on one side and two seats on the other side. That already was a problem. I'm 5'10". She's like 6'1", and we happened to be on the same plane as the Dallas, what is it? The D-League team. And at the time, they had like the tallest guy in the NBA. When I tell you guys, I'm 5'10", I went to like his elbow. And as I'm seeing him come on this plane, I'm like, now how this gonna work? He was like literally bending down and his shoulders were still like damn near hitting the ceiling of the plane. How did y'all put this man on this plane? I told that girl, I said, listen, from now on, when I book flights, I'm gonna have to look to see what kind of plane this is, because I can never do this again. I had so much anxiety. I'm claustrophobic on top of that. No, I can't do it. You're 6'5". Oh my goodness. You are tall as hell. Yeah. You need first class, or you need to fly the airlines that have, like, you could pay the little bit extra to have the extra room seats. That's what you need. Or exit row. Because sometimes the exit row will have a little bit more room, since you're technically supposed to use it to exit for emergencies. What airline do you fly? I fly Southwest. I don't really like. The only other airline I really liked was Virgin Airlines. I only traveled with them one time. This was many years ago. And I loved it. Like, that was a great plane. It was a great experience. But aside from them, the only people I like is Southwest. I hate Delta. Hate Delta. I've never flown Spirit. I've been on a Spirit plane before because we had issues with the Southwest plane and we ended up using a Spirit plane. That's why I don't ever fly Spirit. I've flown Frontier before. Frontier isn't horrible, but those seats are a little hard. So I try to stick with Southwest. And if Southwest doesn't go somewhere, I would prefer like probably United or something. Your 5'11" bio? Not we can round up? No. You remind me of my sister. My sister's like 5, what is she? 5'5" maybe. But don't forget her half, okay? We round up. Like, girl, you're 5'5". Leave it alone. It's okay. That's what you're on because you got points. Yeah, I use the Southwest credit card. So, yeah, like in the last, so before about 6 months ago. So from September of 2022 to September of 2023, almost every trip that I went on, it was with my points. Because I use my credit card for everything. And then I just pay it off every month. And if you're somebody who can manage your money properly and you're not an overspender and you're not one of those people where like, oh, because money is not coming out of my hands or because I don't see it coming out of my account if I use the debit card right away. If you're not one of those people and you could still attribute this transaction to this is money that has to come out and you have the right mindset, I think everybody who can do it should use credit cards for as many transactions as they can, because not just from like a points perspective, but also from a protective standpoint, credit cards will always protect you more than any debit card will. And the reality is, if you're going to use the money anyway, because whether it's for bills or any other kind of purchases, you might as well get some kind of rewards from it. But always pay it off every single month so you don't have to accrue interest of any kind, because you don't want to pay interest on money that's yours. That's crazy. So I literally, at the end of every month, I pay the card off and I keep it moving. I have like multiple cards, but I definitely can say that when I was in debt, like my highest debt, I've been debt free for 6 years, almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in May. So when I was at my highest of debt, when I started my debt free journey, I had $40,000 in debt, and about $800 a month was spent on minimum debt payments. I'm not proud, but I did have some credit card debt in there, and that's because at the time I was making like $8,000 a month, and I needed a credit card because I was traveling. I was under 25, and when you were under 25 and you needed a rental car, they wanted a credit card, so that's why I had to get one. And because I was making so much money at the time, I just was like putting it off. I had good credit, so I had 0% interest credit card. So, I'm just putting it off. And then one day I looked, I said, I owe that much. I was young and dumb though. I wasn't dumb. I just was doing stupid stuff. Because I wasn't dumb. I knew what I was doing. So when I finally became debt free, that was the one thing that I definitely like. In the process of becoming debt free, because I had good credit, this is what helped me. I basically balance transferred my balance over to, I split it up into 2 different 0% interest credit cards. One of them was paid off by the time the promotion ended. The other one was not. So guess what I did? I got another 0% interest credit card, and I balance transferred that one next, and then I ended up paying it off. So I had credit card debt, I had my student loans, I had my car loan, and I feel like I had something else. I can't remember. But I've been debt free for almost 6 years now, and that is one of the reasons why I cannot find myself paying monthly for PA accounts. Because to have 20 accounts, if you're doing monthly, that's $1,700 that you owe somebody every single month. My brain does not compute. It just don't. And I can't. And I won't. I can't and I won't. You're green too. You took a trade at 3 a.m. Okay. Green going into the vacation. Whenever the 800, 250 EMA are going to touch, the market will always go to them. Always make big profits when that happens. I used to use EMAs. I don't use them anymore. I've used a 9, a 21, a 50, a 100, and a 200. I don't think I've ever used the 800 though. What was I doing to make $8,000 a month? I was in network marketing. And then the company ended up shutting down, and then I helped to start a network marketing company, and about 75 days after we started that company, my grandpa died suddenly, and I just never recovered. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to deal with people anymore. I still to this day don't want to deal with people. But yeah, being one of the faces of the company, being the only female face of the company, and trying to push through grieving, especially because, like, legit, I'll tell you guys the story. I had actually just hit a new rank in the company, and I had called my grandparents to tell them, so you know, they love to celebrate my wins and stuff. They didn't answer the phone because they were at my sister's basketball game at the time. And so I told myself the next day I would call, and I didn't. I told myself the next day I'm gonna call, and I didn't, and he passed away that night. So that was a lot to deal with. And then I'm trying to help start a company. I'm the director of financial education. There was just a lot, right? And then on top of that, I was a speaker. Like, so I did speaking engagements. I've done a lot in my lifetime, y'all. Like, these last probably 7 years, I've chilled, because as much as people love to travel and stuff, which I did at one point, when you have to travel for events that you're speaking at, I've run a couple of events, like, traveling is not so fun anymore. And then on top of that, because I still was able to have fun and stuff in the process, it's just being in your own bed. Like, I was literally, there was at one point for like 8 months, I was on a plane every 3 days. That is tiring. It's tiring. So yeah, helped start that company. Everything was going great. But like I said, I just didn't recover from the grieving process. I remember one time I was supposed to speak, and oh, I have to turn this off. Oh, I can't because it's on right now. Today just hates me, and it's okay. Hold on. I gotta take the one account. I don't know how to take it off. Oh, shit. Oh, because it's locked. Duh. All right. There we go. But anyway, so I was scheduled to speak, and like 2 weeks before, I had this dream that I was on stage and I looked out into the left corner of the room and my grandpa was sitting there. That morning, I called the CEO. I was like, I cannot do this speaking engagement. I just cannot do it. Like, I can't. But my experience in that arena and building teams of over 1,000 people, being on the corporate team, so you know, you have people that have access to you all the time. That is why I've been so heavily focused on trading, because when you have to deal with people to make money, like, I wasn't on some tech side of something where I just have to deal with 1 or 2 people. I always had to deal with people. Nursing, I was a realtor, network marketing, all of that equals people. And that's why I was telling you guys the other day, like, I don't know if I'll ever want to build my own community. Like, YouTube is fine, but like building a Discord community and teaching and having courses, and I had credit repair business. I was the only person in my business, so I dealt with everybody. I had no employees. When you deal with some of that stuff for long, you just like, screw this. I don't know if this is gonna hold because yeah, I don't think it will. But this is one of those days where you just take all the trades, and after you journal, you just might have some adjustments that you have to make. So far, I don't think there's any that I can see. I think today is just trash, and that's okay. It is what it is. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Bio. It was, my grandpa passed away like 9 years ago now. But it's still kind of somewhat of a sore spot, just because, like, most people in my family that pass away, it's like you're expecting it. They have cancer, or, you know, they're severely ill. So he died of a massive heart attack 7 days after the heart doctor told him he had the strongest heart that he'd ever seen in a 73-year-old. That's hard, you know, because that's something that you can't really prepare for. And then, you know, my grandma lives with us now, so sometimes just seeing her every day, I just think about my grandpa. But yeah, my TP is probably not gonna get hit, and that's okay. Oh Lord, here he goes. He was just profiting like 1K from that. You never told me what the hello online safety. How are you? I don't think I've ever seen you here. Good morning. I'm actually on my way out the door because we won't be here for very much longer. But yeah, one day it'll get hit. Frederick, no apologies needed. But I will tell you, I just can't deal with you. And the reason why there's no apologies needed is because I am the type of person where I don't believe that people should apologize for things that they do on purpose, because you as a grown person, you made the decision to do whatever you decided to do. So apologies aren't necessary, right? An apology is for if you and I are in a store and I don't see you and I accidentally ran my card into you because I'm not looking, I can apologize. But if I purposely ran my card into you and you see me do it and I say, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to be like, huh? And you're going to want to fight me because you know I did it on purpose. That is how I view apologies personally. So I don't apologize for things that I do on purpose. Every comment you made, it was purposely done and it was purposely calculated. And that's what you decided to do. So no sorry needed. But I will tell you that I have no plans of interacting with you in the future. Oh, sorry for my loss. Thank you. I appreciate that. One day it'll get hit. What did he do? He's just a person that I won't even call him a troll. He has 20 years of experience and he thinks that his way is the way, and he does not respect people's boundaries about not wanting advice. He believes that because I am red all the time, because I'm in the process of putting my strategy together, that I should just listen to him. And, you know, his way is the ticket to freedom. But yeah, I'm not the only person who he's gone into their streams and done that. So, but I wouldn't call it trolling. He just genuinely believes that people should listen to him, regardless of what they're trying to do on their own journeys. But yeah. Yeah, that's it, bio. So, no harm, no foul. I just ignore. It's no biggie for me. Oh my God, you guys. That's what I get for not paying attention. So, this trade, and someone told me to go back and look at it. This trade right here, this didn't happen like the last one that I had lost with the VWAP trade, but this was a weak pullback. And whenever I forgot that this is a new rule I made as of this week because I noticed this pattern. But if it's a weak level, it has to pull back to it, and it did not. The pullback level was, hold on, let me draw it. And this is why it didn't have steam. So the pullback level was here. It was a weak level, so we needed to touch the level to get some support to push up. And I forgot that's a new thing, because I've lost other trades in the last 2 weeks the exact same way. Literally the exact same way. So that was just stupid on my part. So that's 2 trades so far today that I know I should not have lost. So that would bring my losing day to like about, well, it wouldn't be 160 because I missed out on one of the wins. So let's see, 320 minus 180 is 140. Then you add a win in there. So I should be like negative about $60 right now, which I can deal with. Like I said, as long as it's negative 250 or less, I'm good with that. So that's just me not paying attention and just not remembering, which I always expect when it's a new rule for that week. I just always expect that. Always. The current range is from 560 to 530. Got Gotcha. The bottom of the zone I have drawn here is 539, so a little bit above it. Damn, how did I forget that? Duh. What time is it? 10:41. All right. So let me see. The second account that's listed. I'm going into next week with $1,000 of drawdown of that one still. That's a 25K account. Hopefully I can get it to, it'll survive next week. As long as my remaining 3 accounts survive next week, I'll be all right. I will be all right. And actually, no, I'm lying. It's 250 left in that one. So that one might not survive, but the 50K should survive with no problem. The only thing I don't like, why is there such a, because the other accounts are missing that first win when my new trade copier wasn't on. I'm like, why is there such a big discrepancy? Okay, never mind, I forgot. But I do like this, I think I'm gonna like this trade copier more. I feel like I have less lag on my entries and stuff, so we'll see. Hopefully the market is more volatile next week so I can really see if it was the trade copier, because I was using the old version of the Apex trade copier. I know part of the reason for the lag is just Rhythmic sucks and their data sucks, but I'm really wondering if part of it was that copier, because I've had like legit no lag. I did have like a slight little orange order for a half a second, but that was it. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't see myself getting in another trade in the next 15 minutes, but we'll see what happens. Like, I know this next sale I can't take because we be going back towards the middle VWAP level. So really, I'm looking for a reversal down and then possibly be able to take the next buy. I cannot believe I forgot that variable, man. I can't believe it. All right, next buy is not valid either. Might be able to be. Oh, that's the top of, okay. And that's impossible to do, so. Were you there for the hypothetically? Yeah, that was a kid. Kids are so dumb. Like, the kids in Apex are so dumb. They always come into the chat and ask some weird question like, hypothetically speaking, what was his question? It was like, hypothetically speaking, if I have 2 accounts and one is in my household but the other is in a divorced parent's name, and like, a grown person wouldn't be talking about their divorced parents. Not in regards to accounts. Or they'll just say stuff like, what happens if I can't pass the ID verification? Automatically we know that you committing fraud. And then all you got to do is tell them that you're committing fraud, and I'm going to tell your mama, I'm going to tell your daddy. One of the kids said, okay, leave my dad out of it. I'll close the account. Like, these kids are so stupid. You want to close below 540 to go short? On what time frame? Oh, price reached it, so you're short. True Seeker, I get my music from, if you look in the description of the channel, it's from, shoot, damn it, now you're gonna make me go look. And I could tell you the exact video that it is. Give me a second. Because with this particular person, you have to give them credit in the description of the video. Dang, I forgot the name of it. I've been using it for so long. It is the Relaxed Movement. And I will tell you the exact video. Alright, I will actually link the video in the comments. Just let me find it real quick. They have really good, really nice music. How do I go to, let's see. Did I find it on my other one? Hold on, let me switch channels real quick. I got two channels. Watch history. Oh, I think I'm searching for the wrong thing actually. Because he has different ones. I remember it was called something 2 a.m. Hold on, let me look. Because this particular one is the one that I liked the most. I just kind of like scrolled through. Let's see. Damn it. Alright, this one is called... That's not it. What the hell was it called? Hold on. I remember where I put it. Okay, maybe I don't remember where I put it. Oh, it's 3 a.m. Look at me, I'm stupid. I'm looking for 2 a.m. vibes and it's 3 a.m. Whoops. Okay, so I'm pretty sure. "3 a.m. neon light vibes." Oh, we gotta pull back. Why didn't I get an alert? Let's see. Can't take that anyway. 3 a.m. Pretty sure this one is it. Yep. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like. So if you go to their channel and type in the search bar 3 a.m. neon light vibes, it should be this one with the blue screen. I'm quite sure that's it. Because if I type in just 3 a.m., I feel like that's one of the only ones. Yeah, so look for that one. The music that I play is not like how it starts in the beginning. I kind of just took my own little 2-hour segment of it, knowing that, you know, I trade for 2 hours. So I kind of just scrolled through until I heard one that I really liked, and then I just took the 2 hours from there. Other than trading, do you do anything else to make money? So I do have a e-commerce business. I don't take any money from that business though. I let it reinvest itself. Any business that I've had, I've always done that. So because I've been debt free for so long, I saved up a lot of money, and I decided that I wanted to focus on trading at the moment. So I have not worked in about 2 years, and I'm not close to running out of money. That lets you know how much money I've saved over the period of time. But I got a job offer a couple months ago. I declined it because that's just not what I want to do at the moment. Yeah. So that's just my personal decision, but I do have a nursing degree and I have 12 years of experience as a nurse. So, but I was explaining the other day that the only issue when it comes to nursing is I don't really want to be in nursing anymore. I don't really like healthcare like that. And also because I'm in such a specialized area and we don't really have a whole lot of psych facilities here, and everybody wants you to work full-time, and I have not worked full-time during most of my nursing career, so I'm just not interested in a full-time job. I don't have full-time bills, and I don't want to slave away anywhere. It's just not worth it for me. So I just rather focus on trading, and I'm gonna do that. But I do have the opportunity to if I want. I got a pretty good offer for like a 5-day-a-week, 8-hour-a-day type job, and I'm just not interested. Yes, it's great background music for trading. It's very relaxing. That's why I really like their music. All right, we just couldn't break that level right there. It's whatever. Honestly, depending on how next week goes, I might actually stop trading at 10, maybe 10:30, because as much as that session can be decent, I just really don't like it, you guys. I just rather be off the charts by then, because I feel like if I can get the best movement in the first hour and a half, why put myself through watching paint dry for the next hour? It's just not worth it to me. And it could just be this week really, because let me look. Let's see, last Monday there were 6 trades after 10. Tuesday there were 8 trades after 10. Wednesday there was 2. Thursday there were 4, and Friday there were 3. This week, Monday there was 6. Tuesday there was 1. Wednesday there was 1. Yesterday there was, I think, 1. And then today it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. Or it might just be something where maybe I'll stop at 10 o'clock on Fridays, because I have noticed that like after 10 o'clock on Fridays, it's just, why am I here? That's how I feel. Why am I doing this to myself? But yeah, your girlfriend is doing stuff for mental health, especially with children. She tells me all this stuff she does. She's gonna graduate soon with her bachelor's. Do I know anyone that hires and pays good? Well, I think the first year always sucks because you should work directly for a company. But I always say that like per diem work or going through an agency, you'll always be paid better. Yeah, you'll usually be paid better agency. It's just a matter of finding agency work, so at one point I had took like a 3-year break from nursing, right? And when I got back into nursing, I decided to go through an agency because they would have more insight as far as like the jobs that were out there, and it's a lot easier actually to get hired agency than going directly through a company. And a lot of times you either don't have to interview, or the interview process is so much simpler than going directly through a company, right? So the first thing they tell me is like, oh, you've been gone for 3 years, almost 3 years. It's going to be hard for us to find you anything. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I knew that was the risk that I was going to take, whatever. Well, like a week later, I had an offer in an ICU and an offer in psych. And I just really had no desire to work in ICU, but it was crazy because I told myself, like, when I get back into nursing, it needs to be children's psych, or ICU. And so I just ended up deciding on the psych place that I was working for. It was more of like a long-term psych facility, and it was a great experience. But working in government facilities and I just honestly, most places, I just don't like administration, especially in healthcare, because I feel like a lot of people who take some of these administrative positions and higher up positions, it's almost like they forget what it's like being a floor nurse. Like, for instance, my very first year in nursing, I was in neuro. So I had stroke patients. I had 7 or 8 patients a night, which is way more than anybody should deal with. Like when half of my patients can't move half of their bodies. And then I also had palliative care patients, which are patients who are on their way to hospice. So you can imagine how much care that takes as well. They were all the way at the end of the hallway. So you're going all the way down the hallway to give morphine every 30 minutes. You're having to turn people every 2 hours. You're having to change diapers. And it was just a lot. Then we had back, neck, and brain surgery patients, mainly back and neck. So you're dealing with a lot with that as well. And I remember I had 3 supervisors in the year that I was there. Okay, 3. The first one, she was a doozy. She was my mom's age at the time, but I mean, for a manager, I guess maybe she was a little bit young. She was like 40, and she was like upset because I didn't want to party with her, but everybody else partied with her. That was weird. Like, I wouldn't party with my mom, so why would I party with you? Whatever. So then the second supervisor, she was just like a pushover, and those nurses were able to do whatever, whenever. And then the third supervisor, she spent her entire nursing career in ICU. So with you spending your entire career in ICU, yeah, you were on the floor, but you only took care of 1 or 2 patients at a time because of how high the acuity was. Well, she wasn't understanding why people who are taking care of 7 or 8 patients a night are not getting out on time. The documentation alone is ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. To the point where I had did like a 3-month travel contract in California. I remember this like it was yesterday, and it was 5 years ago. Our system was down, and I had an admission. It took me 6 hours nonstop, no bathroom break, no break for nothing. 6 hours to complete the paperwork physically for that admission. That stack of papers was thicker than my notebook. I forget how many pages it was because my memory is not that good, but I do remember it took me 6 hours. That's how much documentation goes into stuff, because when you're working in psych, not only do you have to document everything as far as like med-surg stuff, what the high blood pressure, like you got to deal with that stuff too, but then you have to do all this stuff with the mind, and the mind is a very beautiful, complex place. So there's so much documentation that goes into it, and I think that like healthcare, and it's been this way for a while, honestly, but healthcare is just so focused on the money, and that's why a lot of nurses get burned out. I forgot what the statistic was, but there's like a pretty high percentage of people, nurses, new nurses, who quit nursing in the first year and never return. To spend that much money and that much time getting such a prestigious degree, because it's a great degree to have, and to quit in the first year and never come back, that says a lot. Because if you think about it, all of the you have to do so many hours of clinicals in the 4 years that you're in a nursing the 2 years that you're in a clinical program. that you should already know that that's what you want to do, right? But it's always certain stuff that's kind of hidden from you a little bit when you're shadowing the nurses and you're taking care of these patients. Like, you don't really get to see all the other stuff that's stressful. And I knew my first year I wasn't going to do that forever. And I worked with nurses who were in their 60s and still working. And I was like, how do you do this? That's just not going to be me. It's just not. It's a lot that goes into it, for real. And then I do feel like psych was like the area of nursing where I felt the most at home, because I don't really agree with Western medicine like that. But most of the people that I took care of, they needed those meds. Okay, I took care of, like, my first psych facility, I worked for the state. So I worked in a state hospital. And so the majority of our patients were criminals, murderers, child molesters, arsonists, everything you could possibly think of. And that was kind of difficult at first because I knew that that was the population. So of course you get scared. You're like, hold on. But I made it a point to not really read through people's charts and find out why they were there. I gave myself I was there for like 5 years. So I gave myself a pretty significant amount of time to build relationships with them and then read why they were there. And I'll never forget, I had this one patient. He was the sweetest guy ever. And one day, like probably 3 years in, I was like, I wonder why he's here. I read through that. I said, oh, I should have never read this. I would never think that man would do something so heinous. But he was psychotic. He couldn't control himself, and that was that. But I do feel like psych was like the most rewarding, especially working in acute psych, like dealing with patients who are there because, I'm going through divorce because I'm going through depression because my husband's divorcing me, or I'm depressed because my child ran away. Like, dealing with acute psych patients, I felt like was pretty rewarding because you did get to see them get better. Working in a state hospital, those people never get better. They're going to be there the rest of their lives. You did have some people who eventually got discharged because it was like a rehab type of place where some of them were actually being rehabbed to try to put them back out into society. But seeing people get better with stuff was great. I think that the one experience that I'll never forget that I don't ever want to do again is to watch someone go through what they call ECT treatments, which is, you would think that they don't do this anymore because it's so old of a practice, but they do. It's where you hook them up to electrodes and shock their brains. I saw that for the first time when I was in high school, actually, and it is scary to me. I had to watch it, I think, one more time after that, and I can't. Like, the guy's eyes were open the whole time, and I'm like, bro, you being shocked. I just can't do it. But yeah, so I'm hoping that I don't have to return back to nursing at any point in time in the future. I have to. I always want to, like, I've always said, no matter how much money I ever make in any industry, whether it's trading, my businesses, which I don't ever want to open another business ever again. I think I'm out of entrepreneurship in that realm. E-commerce is a whole different beast. I'm cool with that. But I just always said that no matter how much money I made outside of nursing, I will always want to work like one nursing shift, maybe like every 2 weeks. So just work twice a month. Just to, number one, keep my skills up. And number two, because that was my first career that I've always wanted to be in healthcare. So I don't want to give it up forever. I just don't want it to be my primary source of income. I don't want to have to rely on it because nursing can drive you up a wall and into the ground. But yeah, you clearly don't know what HIPAA is because nothing I just told you, you would never know who the patient is. You could never identify that person. You could tell stories in healthcare and not violate HIPAA. Trust you me. But anyway, yeah, so let me show you guys the accounts. Of course, the bottom, no, which one is it? The third one that's listed for -2, whatever that is. That one is the one, that one blew, and I needed to blow it today anyway for the reset. So I'll show you guys. Let me turn the copier off, and Wait, how do I? Oh, duh, unlock it, girl. That I'm gonna have to get used to. All right, so this is what we're looking like. We got a bloodbath today, but it's all good. Pretty sure by the time I go through all the trades, I'm gonna figure out something. Or I think today is just a trash day. Like I said, probably starting next week on Fridays, I might not trade after. It'll probably be 10:30. I probably won't stop at 10, but I'm definitely probably gonna stop at 10:30 on Fridays. Because I do notice a pattern after 10:30 on Fridays. So we'll see. We'll see what. Well, next Friday is Good Friday, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is where we're at. The first, second, and fourth accounts are the ones that still remain, and they need to at least the first and fifth one. I just want to make sure one of my accounts lasts through next week, because I can't blow all three of the accounts before the end of the week. Then I won't have anything to trade. So at least if one of them lasts throughout the week, I'll be able to trade the entire week, and we'll just kind of go from there. I think I should be okay. We'll see. I think today is just one of those days, because when I go back and I look at all of the days from last Monday to today, with the adjustments that I had to make over the course of the last 2 weeks, this is probably the only day that is actually supposed to be a red day. Even though I've had red days in the meantime, this is the only one that was supposed to be a red day, I think. So I'll see once I go through all the data. Who knows? But yeah. Captain Price. Okay, don't show it then. Do I get free resets? Bio. So if your account is in a failed state, when it renews, it has to be failed. It can't just be negative. It has to be failed. If your account is in a failed state, when it renews, it will renew for free. I have not paid a reset fee since I found that out sometime last year. So, but the thing is, you have to make sure that you fail it the trading session before, right? So because this one renews on Monday, the account that I failed today, I was going to have to fail it no matter what today, because of course I'll get charged for it in the middle of the night, like midnight Monday morning, so that it can reset. But yeah, if you can wait it out, just don't pay a reset fee. Just let it reset on its own. You'll get your initial balance and your initial trailing drawdown back. What indicator is on my chart? Which one? So this is a Renko chart, but if you're talking about indicators, really the only thing that you see is the current day open, high, low, order flow VWAP, prior day open, high, low, close. There's the Ninja Super Pivot, which shows support and resistance, and then there's just this random market structure indicator that I use that shows like the prime, high, low, that stuff. That I got it from a Discord. Go to Think with Bookmap or something, learn something from Bookmap. Yeah, that's not something that I'm interested in at the moment. I think that I'm fine doing what I'm doing at the moment, but if I'm open to something else at some point, I will definitely look into something else. But right now, I think I'm okay. Again, this is just me showing the process of putting stuff together. If I cared about failing in front of people, I would have stopped streaming the first week that I started streaming, right? But the purpose of me being on YouTube is not to show my failures. It's just to show that like I'm putting something together from scratch, and it takes time. It's been 3 months. It takes time, right? Nobody develops their own strategy and has it right then and there. It's literally impossible unless you just spend 24 hours a day back testing, and you take a couple of days to do it. But that's not my style, right? So yeah, I don't have to show my failures if I don't want to. I could be one of those YouTubers who goes live, and as soon as I'm negative, I just shut the live off, and then I come back and tell you guys, hey guys, I made the money back. There are YouTubers like that. There are YouTubers who started to put their lives behind a paywall because they were negative all the time, and now that they're getting payouts and they're actually being profitable, now those lives are live for everybody, for the public, for free again. I could do that, of course. I could not be a transparent person, but how does that help anyone? How does me not showing my failures help anyone? It doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother anyone else, right? Like, I know that it bothers some people because they tell me that they come in to watch me lose. I don't know why you're here then. That's weird to me. Like, who does that? But it doesn't bother me. Trust me, if it starts bothering me that I'm losing in front of people, I'll stop streaming. But I'd rather be transparent and show that it's not easy putting something together from scratch. Even if you learn a strategy from someone else, it's still going to take you time to be able to trade it. You know how many people I see that trade ICT and they've been trading it for a year and they're still trying to find their edge. They're still trying to find what parts of the strategy they like, which ICT is just wipe off, but whatever. Things take time for people. So yeah. No problem, Hussein. Rio, you have a great weekend as well. You're affiliated and you lose style. I don't know what that means. But yeah, Bio, I'm just paying the $34. No reset fees for me. Just the $34. But mine, yeah, I think it's 30. I think one of my 50Ks is like $36 or something. And then my 25Ks I think are like $27 or something. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys first thing Monday morning. Remember, we only have 4 trading days next week because Good Friday is Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning. Bye, guys.